Hello and welcome back to Echoes Untold. This is the place where history whispers its secrets, its mysteries, and sometimes, its tragedies, and we listen. Today, we delve into a case that captivated and baffled the internet, a story shrouded in unsettling questions and marked by a deeply disturbing final piece of footage. We're talking about the disappearance and death of Elisa Lam at the infamous Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles in 2013. It's a story that blends urban legends, mental health struggles, and a chillingly inexplicable ending. Prepare yourselves, as we explore the unsettling echoes surrounding Elisa Lam. Our story begins in January 2013. Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student from the University of British Columbia, decided to embark on a solo trip across the west coast of the United States. Documenting her travels on her blog, she presented herself as curious, adventurous, and introspective. Her posts spoke of fashion, life observations, and also hinted at struggles with depression and bipolar disorder, a detail that would become tragically significant later. Her journey took her through San Diego, and on January 26, 2013, she arrived in Los Angeles. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, located near Skid Row in downtown LA. Now, the Cecil Hotel isn't just any hotel. It carries a heavy, dark history, almost becoming a character in this story itself. Opened in the 1920s, the Cecil has been linked to numerous suicides, murders, and unexplained deaths over the decades. It reportedly housed serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, during his killing spree in the mid-80s, and Jack Unterweger, another serial killer who stayed there in 1991. It's also often, though sometimes tenuously, linked to the infamous unsolved Black Dahlia murder case, as Elizabeth Short was rumored to have been seen drinking at the hotel bar shortly before her death. Whether these connections are all factually concrete or partly embellished by time and notoriety, the hotel undeniably possesses an eerie reputation, a place where darkness seems to linger. Elisa initially stayed in a shared room but was later moved to a private room on the 14th floor due to complaints from her roommates about odd behavior. Elisa maintained daily contact with her parents back in British Columbia throughout her trip. However, on January 31, 2013, the day she was scheduled to check out of the Cecil and head to Santa Cruz, her calls stopped. Her parents, understandably frantic, immediately contacted the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, and flew down to aid in the search. The police searched the hotel, including Elisa's room, with search dogs, but found no trace of her. There were no signs of foul play in her room, and her belongings were still there. Weeks passed with no leads. Public appeals were made, flyers were distributed, but Elisa Lam seemed to have disappeared into thin air within the confines of the Cecil Hotel. Then, on February 13, nearly 2 weeks after her disappearance, the LAPD, hoping someone might recognize her or her behavior, released a piece of evidence that would turn the case into an internet phenomenon. It was surveillance footage from one of the Cecil Hotel's elevators, taken on February 1st, shortly after midnight according to the timestamp, though the timestamp's accuracy has been debated. This footage is arguably the most haunting and discussed aspect of the case. The video, just under 4 minutes long, went viral. Millions watched it, dissecting every frame, every movement. Despite the intense public interest generated by the video, Elisa remained missing. The answer to her whereabouts came under grim and unexpected circumstances about a week later, on February 19. Guests at the Cecil Hotel had begun complaining about low water pressure in their rooms. Some also reported that the tap water tasted strange and had an odd, dark color. Following these complaints, a hotel maintenance worker, Santiago Lopez, went up to the roof to check the hotel's 4 large water tanks. These tanks supplied water to the guest rooms, the kitchen, and a coffee shop. Accessing the roof itself was restricted. It required keycard access for locked doors and navigating a fire escape, plus disabling an alarm system. When Lopez reached the tanks, he noticed the main hatch on one of them was open. Something unusual. He climbed up a ladder to look inside. There, floating face up in the water, was the naked body of Elisa Lam. Her clothes, similar to those seen in the elevator video, were later found in the tank with her, covered in a sand-like particulate. Her room key and watch were also at the bottom. The hatches were heavy and difficult to open or close from the inside. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office conducted an autopsy, 4 months later, in June 2013, they released their official findings. The cause of death was ruled as accidental drowning. A significant contributing factor listed was Elisa Lam's bipolar disorder. The full autopsy report noted finding no evidence of physical trauma, sexual assault, or suicide. Toxicology tests screened for a wide range of narcotics and alcohol. None were found in her system at levels indicating intoxication. However, tests did show trace amounts consistent with her prescribed medications for bipolar disorder: Wellbutrin, Lamictal, Seroquel, but possibly at levels suggesting she may have been under-medicating or had recently stopped taking her full dosage. This official explanation points towards a tragic scenario: Elisa, likely experiencing a severe manic or psychotic episode due to her bipolar disorder, possibly exacerbated by not taking her medication correctly, behaved erratically, as seen in the elevator video. In this state, perhaps suffering from hallucinations or paranoia, she managed to gain access to the roof. Seeking refuge or perhaps compelled by delusions, she climbed into the water tank, possibly removing her clothes herself because individuals experiencing extreme hypothermia paradoxically feel hot and undress, a phenomenon called paradoxical undressing. Once inside, she may have been unable to get out or succumbed to the cold water, ultimately drowning. The coroner concluded there was no evidence of foul play. Despite the official ruling, many find it hard to fully accept. The sheer logistical challenges fuel persistent doubts and alternative theories. Some maintenance workers claimed the hatch was too heavy to lift easily. Naturally, theories involving foul play persist. The lack of trauma evidence makes this difficult to prove, but the location's history feeds suspicion. Paranormal theories also abound, heavily influenced by the Cecil Hotel's dark past. Some suggest Elisa encountered a malevolent entity, linking her strange elevator behavior and death to the hotel's alleged hauntings. Furthermore, Elisa's blog posts revealed her struggles with her mental health, lending significant weight to the official explanation. Bipolar disorder, especially during severe episodes, can involve intense paranoia, hallucinations, and dangerously impaired judgment. What looked like hiding from someone in the elevator could have been a response to a hallucination. What seemed like bizarre gestures could have been part of a delusional state. The decision to enter the water tank, while seemingly inexplicable to a rational mind, might make a tragic sort of sense within the context of a severe psychotic break. So, what really happened to Elisa Lam? The official record states it was a tragic accident, a devastating consequence of a severe mental health episode occurring in a dangerous environment. The evidence points towards this conclusion: the lack of foul play evidence, her known history of bipolar disorder, the possible under-medication, and the erratic behavior captured on video. Yet, the unanswered questions about accessing the roof and the tank, the unsettling nature of the elevator footage, and the Cecil Hotel's grim reputation ensure that the case remains lodged in the public consciousness as a profound mystery. If you found this exploration intriguing or moving, please give this video a like, share, and be sure to subscribe to Echoes Untold, where history whispers and we listen. Fact-checked note: the official cause of death for Elisa Lam was determined by the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner coroner to be accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor. The autopsy report found no signs of physical trauma suggesting foul play. Source: Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner Coroner Case Report Number 2013-01364. Summaries and details widely reported by major news outlets like CNN, Los Angeles Times, CBS News following the report's release in June 2013.